issues that matter most to you. A closer look at current events, just the tip, special guests, and more. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe, Arizona's longest-running drag live stream. Hosted by Felicia Fefe Minor and Freddy Prinze Charming. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe.
Wow. That was amazing. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe.
Good evening.
This is episode 19 of season 10 of Let's Have a Fefe. I'm Felicia Fefe Minor, and over there, we did not plan this. I promise you.
Legitimately unplanned. Legitimately unplanned. I do this all the fucking time. This happens all the time.
So when we signed it, when I about screamed because I was like, no fucking way did we do this. And yes, we did. So here we are.
Oh God, of course. Absolutely.
Of course.
This is This is how we roll.
This is your Wednesday night conversation. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. We'd like to thank our patrons, Allison, Brandon, Cassandra, Drake, Casey Starr, Carrie Corey, Kim, Joan, Jody, Leanne, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Sassy, Shannon, Shelley, and Sky. And Sky has been found. Special thanks to our friends and supporters. Yes. Good news.
That's
good news. Yes. Special thanks to our friends and supporters, Patricia Mason. Wow, my tongue is failing me. Sky and Drake Jensen for taking the deep plunge on Patreon. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe. Special thanks to our sponsors. Joan of Buy Bitch Jewelry and Wood Art, Guido Martin, and Jeremy Bright of Ripple Phoenix. You can donate to us, sponsor us, whatever you want to call it, by going to paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. You can also text LHAF to 602-730-7379. Who knows what I might send you. And it's
I'm not responsible for anything that you may or may not get.
Your discretion. It's up to your discretion. That's all I can say. And something new for us is that if you're on Facebook, you can press the little heart button that's next to the comment little square thing. I don't know. But it's a way for us to earn money. At this point, I think we're at maybe $3. We've earned $3. Let's try to make it 20. Can we get to 20? I would love to just make 20. That's good. I mean, we'll split it and put it on our taxes later.
Right.
The government sent
taxes. I'm sorry. I had a Twitch there. My bad. Twitch. I had a Twitch. How was your weekend, Felicia?
Are you okay?
Me, I'm fine.
My weekend, dare I say, I don't have many of these. It was relaxing.
You were probably forgetting something that you had to do. Because that's usually if I'm like, if I have nothing on the calendar, I'm like, I feel like I'm probably forgetting something.
The rest of the month is very booked up, but did get my hair cut again. It's fun being is it a subscriber? Is it a what do you call it? A membership?
It's a membership, so I'm yeah. I have one too. Do you get the whole thing, like with the facial and everything, or just your haircut?
No.
All the things with the.
I was like, well, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well just go ahead and get all of it, you know.
That's what I'm like. It gives me an excuse to go like every couple weeks to get everything trimmed up. I can go get a facial done. They trim my beard. I highly recommend it.
And John kind of begged me, so.
Oh, and then there's that.
Because my hair becomes such a mess.
We've seen.
Let's say.
We've seen.
And so got that done, but and then nothing really too much during the day, but that was Saturday. Saturday we went to Amazing Jake's for Glam Baby's birthday, but nothing. It was just us, and then Sunday we went to a consignment shop and we went to Goodwill. That was fun. And then on Monday, her actual birthday, I got her this playset. She always likes to, because we have like a house cutout kind of thing, like a playhouse kind of.
Right.
It's not the whole playhouse, but it's like half of like a house, but it has a kitchen. She's always in there, you know. I'm cooking. So I bought her like a little cooking set that came with like a whole bunch of stuff. It came with like vegetables and all this other stuff that I was like, oh, I just wanted the little pans. I didn't even pay attention. That it was fun. And she got cake. And one thing was that I believe that she had a sugar rush, and at the night she was acting very silly, and I was like, you're just sugar wasted. That is all. You are sugar wasted. Clearly. And I have been there before. But yeah, it was a fun weekend.
Nice.
How about you?
Well, I spent most of, a good chunk of Saturday up in Carefree at this adorable little English Rose tea room, because it was the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which we talked about last week, and I was Elton John, and with me were also Mary Poppins, Harry Potter, and Sherlock Holmes were there, and I believe
those were the best Sunday, English characters.
As far as like being able to like impersonate and like cosplay, I don't know. I believe on Sunday, I think the Spice Girls were there or something. I don't know. I think David Bowie was there on Friday, and I think he was also there on Sunday. So I mean, it was interesting. It was fun. The place is adorable. Like I already decided that I'm gonna take my partner. We're gonna get all spiffied up, and
you gonna go there?
Go for tea.
Oh,
because they have stuff, and it's like for $20 you can get like a tiered thing of like sandwiches and scones and little like petit fours and all sorts of fun things. So it's like it's kind of cool. So
that's not $20 a person.
I don't believe so.
That's not $20 a person. Okay.
I don't.
There's such
but
a
it's like
lag
it was pretty
on
cool.
my side. Cool. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I did look at it online because I was like, "Ooh, what is this place?" Partially because I was trying to find a flyer to post for you, but I couldn't.
There's no flyer.
Couldn't find one. So
it's really interesting because like I there were some questionable things, because like I was supposed to like do a couple of performances. I was supposed to do like one like the first couple hours and then one in like the last couple hours I was there. And that morning while I was getting ready, my point of contact texts me and says, all right, so you got everything ready. You know, you have all your music. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just bring my music on a flash drive because that's what we do. And she's like, no, just have it on your phone. Immediately warning bells off in my head. I'm like, on my phone?
You're like,
She's like, yeah, well, just connect
what?
to the speaker. I'm like, connect. How are you going to connect me to a speaker exactly? Because I don't have like a headphone jack. I literally told her, I said, do you know what kind of speaker it is? Because I don't have a 3mm headphone jack. She responds and says, does your phone not have a headphone jack? Okay, literally just said that. So she says, email it to me and we'll make sure that we get it to somebody that can connect to the speaker. And I'm like, okay. So I emailed her my music. I get there and my point of contact isn't even there. She's not there. Like nobody, like it, I was like, okay. So I ended up connecting. There was like a little Bluetooth speaker, which is what we were using. So yeah, that was super fun. And it was really hot. But I mean, it was cute for what it was, but I was like, okay, look, if you're going to do this, first of all, you can't have people connecting to like Bluetooth because it was a speaker like this big and like it just wasn't
You
ideal.
can't hear off
Like
of
this
that.
no, and it's like it's not a good performance space. Like it's just it was yeah. It was interesting. Sunday ran some errands. Monday I actually took London to the vet because he's been having some issues. You know, we got a new couch about a month ago and we've had to cover it with like waterproof blankets because that's basically he just pees and poops all over it. And at first I was like, okay, which is, you know, you change things up. You change things up and I'm like, all right, you know, this happens, no big deal. But then it keeps happening every day, all the time, constantly. So I'm like, all right, maybe there's something else going on. Like, cause he's, you know, he's a cat. Cats will tell you when they're pissed off. It's, you know, but it's usually like maybe a 1-2 time thing. And then that's it. And they get over it and move on. And I'm like, well, shit, you know, what if it's something more serious? So I made him a vet appointment. No, motherfucker is healthy as hell. In fact, the vet was like, wow, for a 15-year-old cat, he's like, his kidneys are working perfectly. His liver is working perfectly. He's in great health. I'm like, this asshole.
So D says right in front of you.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, yeah. So, so he's now on gabapentin, which is fun because this asshole, like, I'm trying to mix it up in wet food. He sniffs the wet food and he's like, no, thank you. I've tried to give it to him in like whipped cream and basically, you know, other things that he really likes. He's like, no, I'm good. So I've had to like mix it in with milk, put it in a syringe and basically shoot it down his face. That's always fun.
Oh, wow.
Fucking asshole. So hopefully
he's just being an asshole.
Right. So hopefully the meds work. We're gonna get him some Feel Away too, which is like a stress relief like diffuser thing. So we'll be getting that. And if that doesn't work, then we're gonna get him on some heavier drugs, and we'll see if that works until everything goes back to normal and everything is not crazy here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But kind of made me feel a little bit good considering she was like, I can't believe this cat is in such good health. Because I'm always afraid that like I'm going to take my animals to the vet and they're going to be like,
Huh.
So considering he's like 5 years past his expiration date, I'm not too mad about that. I'm just mad that he's being a dick. Speaking of dicks, that leads me right into tonight's tip. You like that?
There you have it.
So tonight's tip is actually inspired by a conversation that I saw on the interwebs today. And so I'm like, you know what? I feel like we need to have this discussion. And so I'm going to talk. I guess we are going to talk. This is more of a discussion type thing. We're going to talk today about shaming, fat shaming, size shaming, slut shaming, all the things, because It is fucking 2022. Why the hell are we still doing this? Like, why is this even still a thing? I don't like. I don't.
Because body image hasn't gone away from the media.
Right.
I can answer that right away. The Kim K's, the what have yous, that whole complex of brand is just focused on what we say perfect shape.
Right.
Even more so, even like when we perform, like if I don't look a certain way, like hourglass, because we have this society thing where people are like, oh, well, you have to look this way,
Right.
or men have to look a certain way,
right.
So that's still a thing
So,
that
like,
we're doing to each other.
Like, size shaming. Like, listen, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Small dick jokes are inherently transphobic. They just are. And the last time I said that, I had all sorts of folks, mostly folks that were assigned male at birth, jumping down my throat saying that, you know, whatever, I was born with a small dick and I don't care. I'm like, no. I don't care what I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. If you are equating someone's personality or lack thereof to their penis size, then like unless, because trans men pretty much, unless you've had a phalloplasty, size is you're not like we're never going to be like have an average like cis size penis. That's not going to happen. So anytime that you say someone, oh, they must have a small dick or whatever, like it's fucking transphobic. I don't give a fuck. This is not up for debate. Not up for debate. Even though everybody seems to think it is. I don't care whether you are a trans woman. I don't care whether you identify as non-binary. I don't care whatever the fuck. You cannot. No. It's transphobic. Just stop it. Just fucking stop it. And a big dick isn't better. It's not like it doesn't mean that you're a you know, stronger, better, have more personality. Like, no. Just stop.
If that
Like,
was
just
the case,
like, Lord, like just fucking stop, because it's, I don't know, it's stupid. Like, person's personality is not tied to their penis size.
you're not even
I know
talking in sentences anymore.
I just it blows my mind, first of all, that and now I have to worry about like saying things like that, because the last time I did, literally so many people in this community, in our community, jumped down my throat. Because they were like, no, it's not. You're just starting drama. I'm like, no, I'm not starting drama. I'm fucking transphobic. Just there's whatever. And of course, everybody got because like that's like when I think my feed was full of like tiny dick jokes. Every other person was like, really? So when I posted it, people that posted a tiny dick joke were like, oh my God, why don't you just message me? And why are you just being a bully? Why don't you just, I'm like, obviously you have some issues because you seem to think that this is all about you, but that's okay, whatever. So stupid. So stupid. Okay. So also fat shaming. Just fucking let people wear what they want to wear. You don't like it, don't fucking look at them. Don't like it, don't date them. Don't like it, don't fuck them. Like, just leave it be. Like, someone doesn't magically become attractive if they lose weight. Like,
exactly.
People can look different. People can act different. But people that have lost a fuck ton of weight, and I don't happen to think they're more attractive. Rebel Wilson actually is one of those people. We watched, there's a movie on Netflix, Senior Year or something like that she's in after she just lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow. Like, I actually thought she was more attractive before she lost the weight, but that's just me. I was like, oh Jesus, like and every time someone loses weight, whether it's like for personal reasons, whether it's for health reasons or whatever, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my God, you look amazing. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I always ask, like, on something like that, like, I always say, I'm like, how do you feel about it? Because that's all that fucking matters. Like, that's it. How do you feel after losing the weight? Because how I feel doesn't fucking matter. Do you feel good about losing the weight?
Yeah.
Great. That's all that fucking matters. It's like, and size is not really an indicator of health. Like, there are, like, you see videos of like these dancers who are by no means like skinny, and they are like dancing circles around people, and they're not that winded. They may be sweaty, but they're not that winded. Meanwhile, these skinny folks are like and also you see people that are super skinny. That doesn't mean they're healthy. A lot of times they're kind of malnourished. A lot of times they are anemic. A lot of times they have other issues. So don't conflate size with being healthy, because that is it's a misconception. Totally a misconception.
But it's also society. That's how society and culture has that your health is marked as success because you're not what is it? You're not overweight. Commercials always go after,
Right.
Do you want to lose all the fat? Do you want to do this? Do you want to eat fat free? Do you want to do this? You're being fed this constantly. And I can tell you this because I'm in marketing, but also once upon a time, there were doctors that were approving that cigarettes were healthy for you. So, and then people went out and did it, and they, it affected people's weight and size, but they thought they were losing weight because of cigarettes. Well, yeah, you are, because it was curbing your appetite to create an addiction. But just craziness that goes on there. And I showed that Freddy has froze for me, unless he is still there. I don't think so. Oh, Justine says, I had such a hard time being told at 5'5" and 100 pounds when I was going into the military that I was overweight. Yes, that's a thing. Yeah. So he has frozen. He gone. Well, see, I haven't. Oh, just me. There we go. Here he is. Hold on. I want to go on. Hello?
What the hell
Are you
happened?
there?
I'm here.
I don't know. You went from like green to red, and then you went off.
That's bizarre. No idea what happened.
I have turned off the internet for most devices that I know are not being used right now. So
I'm literally checking my connection and it's fine. So I don't know what the hell. It's bizarre.
Anyway. So yes, weight is a thing. What's the next one?
So, and then slut shaming, because this is still a thing. Don't know why the hell this is still a thing, because
why is that still a thing?
I don't know. Like we're like, everything's all about, sex positivity, blah blah blah, all this shit.
But we also have body positive campaigns going on too.
Right. Right. But like we're gonna, you know, we spend all this money to watch porn, we spend all the money on OnlyFans, but we're still shaming people. We're still fucking shaming people, especially women, for having like multiple sexual partners. Like, we'll watch them get gangbanged or whatever, but then it's like, yeah, what a slut, whatever, blah 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 blah. It's like, just fuck who the fuck you want. Just be safe and smart about it. Like,
My biggest thing is that people complain that, you know, our community is so sex forward. Like it's not taboo at all. And then you see the, you know, of course, always like cis white people, but saying like, "Oh my God, why would you?" And you're like, "But why are we hiding it? Like, why?"
it's, well, it's like we're supposed to be very sex forward or whatever, but then as soon as you mention that you happen to be in like a poly relationship, they're like, "Oh my God, why can't anybody just be monogamous? Why can't anybody just be faithful?"
Oh, I have never said that. So,
Oh, I
um,
see that shit all the fucking time. People always post. I always see posts on Facebook. Why can't anybody? Why is everybody in an open relationship? Why can't anybody just be like faithful to one person? Blah, 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 blah. It's like I can totally be like faithful to two people or three people or however. It's my relationship. It's not like
who knows? But
it's
so
crazy.
many people have so many opinions, including shaming people who are sex workers. And it's really interesting how the same people that are shaming those people are like, "Oh my God," because you can see in the comments of other people you follow, like, "Oh my God, you look so sexy." Should I comment on there
Mhm.
like, "This is why are you sexualizing that person?" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but
Also, I forgot to put this down, but I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna forget otherwise. Uh, There's a whole like ageism issue too, especially like in our community, and like it. I know I've joked about it, but it drives me absolutely fucking crazy when people are like, "Oh my God, I'm 25. I'm so fucking old." Really? How the fuck
no.
is that supposed to make the rest of us feel? Like,
Oh, you
you're
know,
old at
yes, I
25?
do agree with this because we've been in a dressing room with people. Um,
Right.
what was that recently? And they did not mean any harm by, but also be aware, read the room. Um, if 25 is your midlife crisis and I am older than you, ooh,
Like,
ugh.
I'm gonna be
I just
43
want
this year. Like, I'm officially like middle-aged at this point. Like, this is it. I'm middle-aged. And for the people like, "Oh my God, I'm so over the hill. I'm 25." I'm like, "So just fuck me
but we
then."
also do this thing in
Like,
our culture where we don't celebrate older people. We don't. It almost feels because I was thinking about this the other day. Once you hit a certain age, um, because I follow a couple of I don't want to call them, they're not motivational speakers, but entrepreneurs that are like, you should start a business at 50. And you should see the comments that are on there. But it's my point is that it's never too late to do anything. There was a
right.
woman that is 104 that just did a skydive to celebrate her birthday. And I'm sure the comments
There's
galore
so
will
many
probably,
stories about folks that are in their like 60s, 70s, and 80s who end up going back to college and getting, you know, bachelors and masters and PhDs. Like, you no, like, just fuck off with that. Like, I really like it's starting to really bug the fuck out of me because it's a constant thing, and it's like you
do you
realize that
follow the old gays on any social media? You need to
I don't
find
think
them.
I
It's
don't think I do.
very, Google that,
I will
the
find it.
old gays. Um, it gives you a little bit of perspective, and they have so much life, and that's what it feels like when people hear like when I say like, "Oh, I'm almost 40. I have like 2 years before I'm 40," and then they go, "Oh, are you okay?" I'm fine.
It's like,
I
yes. What
am
is that even?
fine. Thank
What?
you.
Like, oh my god, I don't.
I'm not
It's really,
dying.
it's terrible. It's like, it's just like it. That shit's like, I'm sorry that I'm not, young and hip and part of the cool kids. It's like, fuck all y'all. Like, no, no. Let's
Mhm.
see. Okay, STI shaming and the stigma with STIs still a fucking issue. Having an STI or having had an STI or being HIV positive does not make someone dirty. So stop saying you're fucking clean
Oh.
if you're negative. Language
I thought
fucking
you were saying
matters.
that.
Yeah, we're still saying that. We're still saying that. We're still saying we're clean. I'm like,
Oh.
no, you just happen to be negative on your STI testing. On dating apps and things, you still see D&D free, which is drug and disease free. Like, ew. Really? Ew. Fucking ew. 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 Ew.
Yeah.
And that shit's still adding to the stigma. And one thing that we need to remember, because language changes and evolves, is stop saying STD, which STD is out of date. Nobody you shouldn't use it, because STD is sexually transmitted disease. They're not necessarily diseases, they're infections. So that's why we say STI. It's disease versus
Mm.
infection. Disease still adds to that stigma. So you need to start changing language and being mindful of what you say and how you say it, because that shit still adds to
Well,
the fucking stigma. Like,
so all of these things come from like beginning of life. We don't we don't tell our well, I tell my children about they know. Well, we don't talk about sex. We don't talk about how you should be proud of who you are and what your body looks like and shape, size, whatever, eye color. You're not all gonna be blonde, blue eyed. We're not gonna all have Western, uh, European features.
right.
What else? We're all not gonna, wake up in the morning and have flawless hair. Some of us got to comb through some things. Um,
That's what I do.
yours is there. Uh-huh.
Stop hair shaming me.
Um, I did. But also these things, if we I don't want to say people don't parent their children right, but if they are open with their children and in the communication that they have, I also feel like some of these shames come from insecurities with people's own bodies. I feel like some of this slut shaming is because people are not comfortable with their own sexuality. um, I'm still learning about obviously on this show, but about myself, about other people, about just different things. And so when you, I feel like when you do these, when you shame, you close the door to learning more about what could be better for you or could be better for somebody around you. Also, when you do these shamings, I always say this: you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's reading that comment.
Right.
You really don't. And when you say, I'm not fat shaming because I have a fat friend, that really doesn't help the case.
I'm not
Just like,
racist because my friend is black.
yeah. And so just be aware, be more aware of what you're saying, especially in a public forum. I know some things have come up where people are like, ooh, 2014, you said this. And you're
Right.
like,
Because
damn.
that shit, they'll dig that shit up. They'll find the fucking screenshots.
I'm sure there's some stupid shit that I've said back in the day that I probably would
I
read
mean,
that and
we
be like,
all say
you are
stupid shit, but the thing
dumb.
is that most of us learn and grow and adapt, and like the kids all of a sudden have started like calling each other and everything bitch, and I'm like, oh no. No. And not like in the bitch. They're like, no, they're like, oh my God, you bitch. And I'm like, no, we're not. No, abso-fucking-lutely not. We're not going to go around calling the dog a bitch, your brother a bitch, everybody a bitch. We're not calling everything in this house a bitch, because then you're just going to go around and call everybody a bitch, and we're not going to do that. So no, that's not going to happen. And then, okay, so this next little bit, and I know we have some stuff, but this is actually what sparked this tip today. And so someone was posting things for sale, and there were some butt plugs in there, and they were
and you didn't share?
The person who was posting them is friends with both of us, so if you but there was like one of them happened to be, or a couple of them happened to be like a couple of smaller butt plugs. One of them I think was a small silicone one. It was a little purple one. Like it wasn't huge. It was maybe only like a couple inches and not like super big around. Like it was just a smaller butt plug. And someone was like, why is it so small? And somebody else is a trainer for straight guys, and someone else, maybe it's it's cute but it's inadequate, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, they'll say maybe it'll expand on contact, and I'm like, okay, look, no. And I actually said this. I was like, no, we're not going to do this. I jumped on and I was like, okay, so small butt plugs aren't trainers for straight guys, first of all. Gay men aren't the only people who enjoy anal play. And small butt plugs are perfect for someone that is maybe new to anal. They're just getting started. They need something, just a kind of beginner, just to kind of have something there. Maybe the person enjoys anal, or they enjoy the sensation of something there, but they don't want something big, so they have something small. Like, this goes back, like, why is it immediately we have to jump to, oh my God, this is inadequate, or oh my God, it's a trainer for straight men, blah blah blah. Like, we need to get away from that mindset, because this is, people see that, and maybe it was someone that was thinking about getting a small butt plug, but now they're like, well, shit, now I don't, like it that kind of things. You don't know who the fuck is seeing
you a butt
like
plug. Get your butt plug. Get
like,
your butt plug. Let me know where you at.
Don't know. You have no idea, who is going to see it. And maybe you have a friend that was going to try something, and maybe it was someone who watches, and they were like, oh, let me take advantage of this, and I'll get this small butt plug that might just be perfect for me to start and whatever. And now they're like, well, never mind, because now everybody just thinks that, it's a trainer for straight guys, or it's inadequate, or whatever. It's like, look, being able to take a fucking fist-sized toy doesn't make you like better than everybody else. Like, people have different reasons for using different size toys.
But also, not everybody can handle large things. Not everybody is satisfied by large things.
I don't happen to prefer large insertable anything. Like, average size is fine. I would actually almost prefer slightly below average, but most of the time that's harder to find. But I'm like, it doesn't make you, an A+ gay because you can take a giant fucking cock in your ass. Like, that doesn't, it means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But when we're talking about butt plugs, you don't need the whole thing.
And butt plugs are just like, the plug is literally just designed for the sensation. Like, you're not using like, and there were some like, actually this person actually has some stainless steel ones too that were good size. Like, they were almost the size of the palm. Like, they were hefty steel ones. But it's like, just fucking stop. Like, why is it whenever something like, the first thing that comes out of anybody's mouth is something negative, or that is like, just so fucking annoying.
Also, we learned about gaping holes at sex trivia, so if you want a gaping hole, you should learn more. Yeah, and not everybody
You can eat
wants a gaping
cereal.
hole with a huge ill. I mean, not ill like ill as is overall, but ill for me. But if that's your
Yeah, you're
thing,
like we say all the damn time. Your kink is not my kink, but your kink is okay. If your kink is eating cereal out of a gaping asshole, you do you. I, however, will not be
just
partaking.
clean properly. Clean properly
Just
afterwards.
for
Yeah.
fuck's sake. Oh my God. For fuck's sake, please rinse, wash, douche, whatever the fuck you need to do to get stuff clean if you're going to do things like that, because you're just asking for a world of just ugh.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
that's all we ask.
Just clean
Alrighty,
that up.
on to a closer look
Onward.
at current events. What have we got going on?
Oh, Department of Justice. This is fun. Oh, why you always put these
Would
big
you like me to
words
cut?
in
Would you like me?
here?
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, you go ahead because I'm already in a
So,
problem with S's and
I got you. The DOJ has filed seditious conspiracy charges against the Proud Boys for January 6th. So
all of them.
that'll be interesting to see what happens there, just as a collective group, I believe. Because I believe the leader was there and a few other folks, and they were kind of leading the charge. So this could be interesting. It'd be good if they were like on a actual like federal list as like domestic terrorists. That would be fantastic. Probably won't happen, but you know, who knows?
So
Anything's possible, I guess.
when they go on trial, I would like it to be broadcast like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial.
That would be good.
I would like that.
Happen. It won't fucking happen, but
because we need to protect their privacy or something. I don't know.
Right.
Last weekend included at least 9 mass shootings with 4 or more victims, 2 killed and 12 wounded in Chattanooga, Tennessee. A second mass shooting in as many weekends, 3 killed, 11 wounded in Philadelphia. In fact, one of my friends lives in Philadelphia, and I was like, "Where are you at right now?" It was a little bit terrifying. But we don't need gun control.
No,
we don't yet.
We would rather ban really, really, really dangerous things like drag shows that for minors, like San Antonio is trying to do. They're trying to ban drag shows in front of minors because that is a priority. Never mind the mass shootings that continue to happen. Never mind the 18-year-olds that can get their hands on AK-47s and kill a bunch of kids. Totally fine. No, it's fine. Because what's really important is that, drag queens. And if you think about it,
drag queens
that could be things that could be affected are things like Pride, because there are drag shows at Pride and there are kids at Pride. Drag Story Hour, that could be an issue as well. I don't know if anybody realizes this, but drag shows have never resulted in kids dying. But
or
it's a good place to start if we ban. Right. Let's go ahead and ban drag instead of guns, because that makes a lot of fucking sense. Fuck my life.
Also, I found out that is it Japan? They have like these like methods of what you have to go through before you can get a gun, and it sounded fantastic to me. Like they have to like pass a mental inspection. See, the S's are getting me today. But and all of these things before they can even get a gun. And even then, even certain guns are allowed for people to get. And why
you can't buy a fucking assault rifle,
AK-47 or whatever it is. Why do you need that? Why?
Oh my God! They were talking about the description of some of the victims and the 4th graders. So an AK-47 has a 300 foot, I think it's a 300 foot, 300 feet range, I think, something like that. 300 foot range. So anything closer than that is going to cause severe damage.
It breaks
Severe
apart.
damage. Like if you're shooting at something that is like that close, it's gonna go through them. It's gonna go through the wall. It'll probably go through that wall behind it. Like it is the some of these kids apparently were completely unrecognizable. There is so much damage done with this fucking gun. But we'll go ahead and work on drag first because that is what is important.
Matthew McConaughey was at the White House. Was it this week? This weekend? Because he is from how do you say it? From that area where the mass shooting happened for the children. The U starts with U in Texas. And basically told people get off your ass and let's make gun control a priority. Stop chasing abortion, stop chasing birth control, stop chasing the gays. Let's make this work. And then of course I need to really stay out of these comment sections. That's what I don't comment, but I read them and I get very upset because this is what we are facing. This is what other people believe is happening in our country. They really think that this is
Wait,
like
how
like they think
heartless
that we're taking
do
rights
you
away from them.
it's how heartless do you have to be to sit there and listen to parents of victims like describe the fact that like one of the survivors, like this little girl, took her friend's blood and put it all over herself and played dead essentially, and describe how
What kind of
some of
trauma
these
is that? Oh my
right
god.
and how some of these kids couldn't be ID'd, and how like how can you fucking listen to that and then just be like, no, we're not worried about gun control, it's fine, we're fine, everything's fine.
But on one
Like,
hand,
are
we're
you
worried about
fucking
pro-life
serious?
and pro-choice and
Right.
all these things.
You're not fucking like, it blows my fucking mind. It absolutely blows my fucking mind that these are people that like they just don't give a fuck. They don't. They won't. They're not even willing to raise the legal age to purchase a gun to 21. They're not even willing to do that, even though there literally were just 2 mass shootings, both with AR-15s, that 18-year-olds bought like basically days after they turned 18. Totally fine. Totally
And
fine.
they didn't go through a psych evaluation.
No, nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck.
What did they say? I was not expecting to blame the drag artist angle.
It's all
Yes,
drag's
we
fault.
are
It's all the drag
causing.
queen.
You are watching this right now, and I am telling you not to buy a gun. So don't do that. Gay agenda, like what the hell? There is no such fucking thing. It's so upsetting. Yes.
I mean, I do have an
There's like
agenda. You should see my Google Calendar, but like,
oh my god, so booked up, so booked up. The fact that kids have to think about playing dead. Yes, and I fear being a child in this. Like, we have a little one, so imagine watching that's devastating, devastating. Why people don't think it's important, but they think holding up women's rights and buying guns is a priority. Don't understand. Somebody explain to me.
This country is so fucking backwards, and I swear to God, if anybody tries to tell me that this is the best country in the world, I'm gonna be like, "Are you fucking?" No, this is bullshit. Total fucking bullshit.
So yeah, the Ohio legislator is banning transgender girls from female-only school sports because we're continuing on that train too. So, I beg of you, the midterms are coming up. Midterms are coming up. I know that a lot of people, and I probably will keep saying this until we vote. Midterm elections are just as important as the presidential election years,
if not more so.
Yes. What I need you to do is keep an eye on the people that you support at a local level as well as national, but local level people, as I have said before, rise up through the ranks. You keep letting people that say gun control is okay, and then you say, oh, well, she's just running for city council. Okay, she's just running for city council today, but then 3 years later, you're going to be like, well, now she's running for governor. How'd
Right.
she get there? You let her get there. You could
And
have
I swear to
stopped her.
God, if anybody tells
So,
me, oh, I don't vote or I don't do politics or whatever, I don't do not. Don't even just that is the biggest bunch of horse shit ever at this point. If anybody literally says, oh, I don't vote or I don't do politics, well, how privileged are you? Thank you so much. Because apparently everything that's going on has zero effect on you. How nice that must be for you. Like, that is privilege at its finest. I don't, and that just speaks volumes at this point. Like, to just, and like this, that shit makes me so mad. Ugh.
also, make sure that you get your mail ballot if you have registered for that. Make sure you get to the polls if you have registered for that. There are different agencies and organizations like Uber and Lyft that did it at the presidential. I don't know if they're doing it for midterms, but keep your eye out for that, because sometimes people do van carpools, and sometimes people do like where they're like, okay, well, I'll stand in line for you. You go to work and I'll still be here. You know, that kind of thing.
If you're in my
there's a
area
whole
and I'm free, like, just call me. I'll come get you.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to discourage anybody from voting, and I highly, highly encourage you tell people that you think may be doubting that they need to vote in the midterm, because that is something that when you get to the presidential election, it really makes a difference, because then you'll be like, oh, so I see that the person I'm supporting the person that I'm voting for. Politics is politics. Right. I can't stop the way it functions, but you can absolutely control it a little bit if you vote. Vote.
Speaking of voting and COVID news, a lot of companies are actually going to go back to masks because numbers are spiking again. In fact,
I want to go back to work at a brick and mortar. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I know several people that have now picked up this new strain and are sick again. But man, like I said, I keep thinking if I hadn't been vaccinated and boosted, I would have ended up in the hospital 100% with as sick as I was. 100% would have been in the hospital. Like, we still wear masks when we go to the store, when we go out and about, when we still wear our masks all the fucking time, unless we are outside and well distanced from people. Like, I'm not willing to put shit at risk still. Like, it's not over, y'all. Like, it. And there's actually a
the new booster
vaccine that's actually. Yep. It's coming out.
Oh, you go ahead.
Okay. It's coming out in the fall. It's supposed to be even more effective, and this could actually be the road towards an annual vaccine, like the flu shot. That's what they're anticipating with this new one that is coming out. So keep an eye on that.
And as we talk about COVID, it's not ending, but be cautious and aware of the monkeypox. Now the media has gotten a hold of that, and instead of making you more aware and how to prevent it, they scare the shit out of you and say things like, you can get it next. Yes, I did hear that on the news. Don't call me. Don't call me either. Really. Because then I think something is wrong.
Right. I'm assuming if you're calling me that you're probably dead. So, just saying.
Scary. Yes. Still not going out. That's fine and dandy. But yeah, people wearing masks and careful who you touch. So sounds like what monkeypox is mostly. Careful you know who you're hanging out with and loving on. Oh, they always say
That goes
to
along with
create a plan. You're
every
right.
like. That's just general sexual health. Like,
But with
that's why I say play safe and play smart. Like, ugh.
yes. So if you tell me you got monkeypox, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. I mean, love ya, but keep it to yourself.
So in case anybody was wondering, I actually got our COVID numbers here in Arizona. So just to kind of remind everybody where we were at a couple years ago. So April 4th of 2020, we had 2,000 cases and 50 deaths. June 21st of 2020 is when we passed 50,000 cases. That's just about almost exactly 2 years ago. Almost exactly 2 years ago right now, was when we hit 50,000 cases.
My goodness.
We are currently at 2.06 million cases with over 30,000 deaths. That's in 2 years. We went from 50,000 to over 2 million. Now, like, and over 30,000 deaths because people keep doing dumb shit. Like,
well, I don't necessarily think it's because people are doing dumb shit, but I do know that people that know that they don't feel well are creating unsafe environments for other people.
Yes.
So we are way past. I know that in some instances that in underserved communities, they're not able to take off from work, but I think there needs to be a way. You know how the government likes to be in our business and in our vaginas. They haven't figured out a way to help serve the underserved communities
well,
or
that's because they don't
underrepresented
matter.
communities.
It doesn't matter. They're like poor and like black, and who cares?
So, if you don't feel well, I encourage you to go home. But if you are not in a position to, let's talk about it. But also be aware if you don't feel well, don't be exposing people, even if it's, I don't know, like a light cough. Just feel like you should not be going places and doing things and coughing on people. Just seeing people are still not washing their hands after using the restroom. We did not learn anything, and I experienced this myself. Excuse me, especially if other gentlemen are in the restroom, and I said, "Oh, you gonna wash your hands? You gonna wash your hands? Because that's gross. Because especially at the workplace, because you share."
Actually, I have a question, sort of related but not really related, but it's a genuine question because I've always wondered this. How can men stand at a urinal and not hold it? I saw a dude stand in a urinal and he was on his phone with both hands. I'm like, that's just asking for trouble. Like,
I don't have that privilege. So I don't know, but I know people that do, and some people that are not that size matters, but some people are endowed.
But even if
well
size,
endowed,
like even so, like if the way things hang, like you're gonna make a fucking
Not
mess. Like I don't.
Not for everyone.
Yeah, I
Not for
feel like
everyone.
that's just asking for just fucking sprinkler situation. Like I don't like. Why wouldn't you just fucking hold it and aim like normal person? Like I don't know. I think it's stupid. I'm just like, what the hell?
We can shame
Upcoming.
people that don't wash their hands, though. We can shame
Fuck
people that don't
yes.
wash their hands because
Like, oh, so you're not washing your
that's
hands?
disgusting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Or you could put a sticker on
great.
on their shirt that says, "I didn't wash my hands."
Well, I can't do that in the workplace. That's called harassment. On the 12th, I will be at the Pride pageant. How do you say that? Do you say like MX?
Mix, I think.
Mix.
Mm.
Freddy has his thoughts.
Not about the pageant itself.
No. I will be there for that, and it starts at 6. 6 sounds right.
I thought it started at 3.
No, that's the Pride like awards and other stuff that goes from 3 to 4:30 or something like that.
Oh, Trey said it started at 3. Like the pageant started at 3.
Not from what I mean, we got the same email, so
maybe he didn't read.
I mean, I can't promise that all of us know how to read, but maybe I didn't read it right. Maybe maybe I'm gonna be late. But I'll check.
3 hours late. You showed 3 hours late to the time.
Huh?
It actually starts at 3. You show up at 6.
Where were you?
You know what? That's par for the course. That's what people are doing in our community right now. We just show up whenever the fuck we feel like it.
Shut up, not me. June 17th, we have Cat Bingo, and then as we said, you can show up for sex trivia, learn about gaping holes and other things.
All sorts of things.
For sex trivia at Gracie's Tax Bar. And then on June 23rd and 24th, I will be a part of the Let's Get Better Together conference. Teddy Michael is presenting at the Trend,
Teddy Michael,
Trans Ally.
Yes, because I'll be out of town.
Freddie
so
decided
Teddy
to
Michael,
us both.
Teddy Michael will be presenting at the Let's Get Better Together conference. He's doing our From Allies to Accomplices, Leaping into Action. So if you're able to check it out. It's a great presentation. Because
register today. Let's Get Better Conference AZ, I think.
Something like that.
Don't quote me on it. I'll post it later.
And the reason I won't be there is because I will be in Washington. Because on June 25th, I will be performing in Washington at Lewis County Pride, which I'm kind of excited about. Although I'm a glutton for punishment and I just made a new mix and it's a fun mix, but it's kind of a dancey mix. And I'm like, oh, I got to remember to put my inserts in my shoes. Otherwise
wonderful. June 26th, I will be in Magic at Stacy's at Melrose. And then Freddy flies away again.
I'm driving.
Oh, you fly away because you just leave us here.
I'm going to Albuquerque July 2nd. I like being in Albuquerque. Like everybody there. I don't necessarily like Albuquerque itself, but I like everybody that is there because Albuquerque's kind of a shithole. But the folks that live there are pretty cool. And then again, I'm just going to keep reminding y'all that July 16th, which is a Saturday, I'm in Lady on the Rocks at the Rock. It's my birthday weekend, so
Sorry, I
make sure
can't
it's in your
make it. I
calendars
really can't
so
make
that
it.
you can reserve
I
a
really can't make it.
table.
I really can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Reserve your tables because I won't be there. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever you say.
Oh, I really need to work on guests. So much so that we are almost done with the season, and it's fine. I
We're
have a
only on
whole
episode
list of
19,
people.
though. When are we ending the season?
I'm not rushing things. I'm just chilling.
You probably won't be able to reserve a table until it gets a little bit closer. And I think I did put New Mexico on the calendar.
About what?
Oh, maybe I didn't.
Oh,
I thought I
you're
did.
being partner shamed.
I know. Stop shaming me. I swear I put it on the calendar. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, I gotta make sure some of the dates are on our calendar too. Because don't forget to hydrate this weekend with the heat advisory and sunblock. Yes, yes, yes. Water, water, water. If you like, go for Gatorade, but water. Soda is not a hydrant or hydration fluid. Do not tell me you drink soda and think that you're gonna get. Oh,
yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, have your soda, but throw water in there. Like when you go to the club and you think you can drink water in between your drinks, do it like that.
Right.
Yeah, do it like that.
We are not advocating for excessive drinking.
I'm not. I'm advocating for hydration. I want people to do the stupid thing to do the right thing. See how that works there? No words at all. Thank you to all of you who watch on the replay, who watch live, who donate stars,
listen to
who
the
are on
podcast,
do
all the things.
Thank you for joining our Wednesday night conversation. We will see you next week for your Wednesday night conversation.
Good night.
Oh my God, that was a lot to say. Oh my God. Is it?
Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Subscribe to the Let's Have a Fefe podcast. You can listen on your favorite podcatcher. See you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. This has been Let's Have a Fefe. Good night.